I never thought I'd hear my parents' voices again. Not after the way they threw me out. Not after the night they disowned me like I was nothing. But then, the phone rang. Their number lit up my screen. And in that moment I had a choice. Ignore it and let them suffer. Or answer and become the only one who could save them. Strange, isn't it? The same people who swore I was dead to them were now begging me for life. But before I tell you how I saved them, you need to know why they hated me in the first place. Why they cut me out like a disease. Because if you don't understand that, you'll never understand the choice I had to make. Now, I know what you're thinking. Oh, here comes another sad sob story about parents and kids fighting well. This isn't that kind of story. This is the kind of story where the victim becomes the weapon. And trust me, you'll want to hear every second of it. Because in the end, you'll be asking yourself the same question I asked myself that night. Do you save the people who destroyed you? Or do you finally let them drown? You know, families are supposed to protect you, guide you, love you. Mine, they saw me as a problem to erase. I was the mistake they wanted to hide. The crack in their perfect glass house. My father strict, proud, obsessed with reputation. He walked like he owned every room. And my mother, cold, smiling only when other people were watching. To the world, we looked perfect. But behind closed doors, it was a battlefield. They never forgave me for being different, for asking questions, for standing up when I should have stayed quiet. Every word I spoke was an insult. Every choice I made was a war. The night it happened, I can still see it clear. Dinner table. Silence so sharp it could cut glass. Then my father slams his fist. My mother's eyes burn holes in me. And those words, those damn words. You are no longer our child. Just like that. No discussion. No tears. Just exile. They erased me from their will, their family photo frames, even their conversations. To them, I was dead. But the funny thing is, I wasn't, and dead things, they can't come back to haunt you. Unless, of course, they actually can, which, in my case, was pretty close. I walked out of that house with nothing but a backpack and a heart that felt like it had been ripped open. Do you know what it feels like to be disowned? It's not just rejection, it's annihilation. You start to believe maybe they're right. Maybe you are worthless. Maybe you are better off gone. But here's what my parents never understood. When you burn someone's world to ashes, you don't kill them. You forge them. And that night when they threw me out, they thought they destroyed me. What they actually did was create someone they'd one day have to beg for mercy. When they cast me out, I had nothing. No money, no home, no family. The world suddenly felt colder, like I had been dropped in the middle of winter with no coat. First nights, I slept on a friend's couch. Then sometimes in my car. You ever try closing your eyes in the back seat, knowing one knock on the window could change your whole life? That fear eats you alive. But here's the thing about rock bottom. Once you're there, there's only one way left to climb. Up. I worked jobs nobody wanted. Graveyard shifts. Dirty work. Anything to survive. And every dollar I earned, I studied, I hustled, I built skills they never thought I'd need. And with every step forward, I thought of them. My parents, their faces the night they disowned me. Their smug certainty that I was nothing. That memory became fuel. My hunger. My fire. You know what's funny? People say revenge is bitter. But when you're starving, even bitterness tastes like survival. I built a new life, piece by piece. I made connections. Earned respect. I learned how to survive without a family, and I realized something. I didn't just survive. I was becoming stronger than I ever could have under their roof. Stronger than them, but the world has a cruel sense of humor. Just when I thought I was free of them, just when I started to feel safe, something happened. Something that dragged me right back into their lives. And this time, I wasn't the weak, scared child they disowned. I was the one person they had no choice but to depend on. Imagine that the family who swore I was dead to them, crawling back, begging me to save them, and the best part? I hadn't even decided if I would. It started with a phone call. The kind of call that makes your stomach twist before you even answer. Unknown number. Late at night, I almost let it ring out, but something told me to pick up. And when I did, I heard the voice I thought I'd never hear again. My mother crying. Do you know what it feels like to hear the same person who once told you, "You're dead to me," suddenly sobbing for your help? It's not relief. It's not joy. It's strange. Like watching the walls of a fortress finally crumble. They were in trouble. Serious trouble. My father's business had collapsed overnight. Some shady deal gone wrong. Investors were circling like vultures. And to make it worse, he owed money to people you don't want knocking on your door. The kind of people who don't send lawyers. They send warnings. And trust me, when a warning comes wrapped in broken glass on your doorstep, it's not exactly a Hallmark card. My father was cornered. My mother was terrified. The house they once banished me from was now just a cage of fear. And their so-called friends, the ones they'd chosen over me, they vanished. Funny how loyalty works when money dries up. So they turned to the one person they never thought they'd need. Me. The irony? Delicious? The same child they had erased now held the only key to their survival, and they knew it. My phone lit up every night after that. Calls, messages, begging, pleading. My father's proud voice suddenly cracked with desperation. My mother's cold tone replaced with trembling words. And me, I listened. I let them sweat. Because here's the truth. Power feels different when it's finally in your hands. It's heavy, addictive, dangerous. Now, tell me, what would you do if the people who destroyed you came crawling back? Would you rush to save them? Or would you make them taste the same loneliness they gave you? I had the skills. I had the connections. I had the strength they never believed in. But what I didn't have was forgiveness. So, I stood at the edge of a choice that could change everything. Save them, or let them fall. And let me tell you, I didn't decide right away. Because sometimes, watching the mighty fall is sweeter than lifting them back up. But in the end, I made my move. And what happened next? No one could have predicted. Do you know what it feels like to hold someone's life in your hands? To know one word from you could save them or destroy them. That's where I was. My parents, the ones who had erased me, humiliated me, buried me, were now on their knees and me. I wasn't sure if I wanted to be their savior or their executioner. I thought about the nights I went hungry while they dined in their perfect home. I thought about the birthdays they skipped, the words they hurled, the door they slammed in my face. And for a moment, I wanted to let them choke on their own pride, to finally taste the poison they once fed me. But then, another voice whispered inside me. What if walking away made me no better than them? What if revenge wasn't victory, but just another chain? I mean, really, could I sleep at night knowing I let my own parents get chewed up by mobsters? Sure, but would Netflix make a series about me? Probably not. One minute, I imagined myself standing tall, watching their empire burn without lifting a finger. The next, I imagined myself stepping in, proving once and for all that I was stronger than their hate. It was like two wolves fighting inside me, one hungry for revenge, the other craving peace. And the cruel truth? Both wolves wanted blood. I started asking myself questions I couldn't answer. Do I save them because they're family? Do I let them fall because they deserve it? Or do I use this as a chance to rewrite the ending of my story? In the end, I realized something. Helping them wasn't about them. It was about me. About taking control of a story they thought they had already written. So, I made my choice. And the moment I did, the game changed forever. The night I walked back into their world, it felt like stepping into a crime scene. The air was heavy, the lights too dim. Even the shadows whispered threats. My father's face pale, broken, desperate. My mother's eyes red from crying, the same eyes that once looked through me like I was invisible. And me. I wasn't their child anymore. I was the storm they had created. The men circling them weren't bankers. They weren't businessmen. These were wolves, the kind that smell weakness. And my parents had become prey. They thought money could buy silence. They thought power could erase enemies. But in the end, all their pride had bought was fear. And let's be honest, seeing my father sweat in his $1,000 suit, I won't lie, was the best entertainment I'd had in years. But jokes aside, this was life or death. And as much as I hated them, I knew I couldn't let them sink, not yet. Because this wasn't just about saving them. This was about proving I was the one with the real power now. I stepped forward. The room froze. The men turned to me, surprised. My parents looked at me like I was some ghost come back to haunt them. And in that silence, I laid down the rules. Their debts, their enemies, their survival. It all went through me now. Every eye in that room knew the balance of power had shifted. My parents had disowned me once, but that night they belonged to me, and the choice I made next would seal their fate forever. The room was silent, everyone watching, and for the first time in my life, my parents looked at me with fear. Not anger, not shame, fear, and you know what? It felt good. I laid it out for them. I would clear their debt. I would face the wolves circling their door. But from that moment on, they would never control me again. No more orders, no more shame, no more pretending I didn't exist. If they wanted salvation, it came with my name written all over it. My mother's tears fell. My father's pride cracked. And for once, I wasn't begging for their love. They were begging for mine. Funny, isn't it? The family that erased me now had me written into every corner of their lives. Revenge doesn't always come with fire and blood. Sometimes it's a signature on a deal they can't refuse. So I saved them. Yes, I did. I untangled the mess they made, silenced the men they feared, and bought them more time. But don't mistake it for forgiveness. I didn't do it for them. I did it for me. Because in saving them, I proved the one truth they could never deny. I was stronger than them, stronger than their hate, stronger than the chains they tried to break me with. And maybe that's the real victory. Not revenge, not forgiveness, but knowing that when they thought I was nothing, I became everything. And now, when they look at me, they don't see a failure. They see the one person they can never live without. And trust me, that's better than revenge. That's power. And the best part? They'll never know if I'll save them again.